Thorpe Park is known as the UK's most thrilling theme park, and it's home to some of my personal favourite rides, such as Nemesis Inferno, you weren't expecting that, Hyperia, Stealth, Saw the Ride, you guys hate this ride too much, and Flying Fish. But have you ever stopped to rate every single roller coaster in the park? Because today what we're going to be doing is rating every single Thorpe Park roller coaster. Now if you know this channel well enough, I like doing these rating style videos, they're a lot of fun. And in a similar format to what I did in my previous rating videos, we're going to be rating a roller coaster in terms of its theming and also its ride experience. Now you may be wondering, how are you going to rate these rides? How is this going to work? How are you going to do this? Now what's going to happen is that I'm going to rate a roller coaster's ride experience out of 10. Ride experience obviously includes roughness, smoothness, just general enjoyment, you know. Now I'll also be rating the theming around the rides out of 10, giving each roller coaster a total of 20 points. Now last week I did a similar video where I rated themed areas at theme parks. Make sure to check that out right now. And if you want me to rate your favorite roller coaster, make sure to get this video to 5 billion likes. Let's get into this. So the first ride that we're going to start with is close to the entrance of the park, which is Colossus in the Lost City. Now Colossus is an Intamin roller coaster. I'm not sure what the exact model is, I'm sorry. And in 2002 when it opened, it broke the record for the most inversions of any roller coaster in the UK and the world. However, just over 10 years ago up north, this got beaten by the Smiler. I don't know how the US haven't done anything yet, it's been ages. Now in terms of the ride experience for Colossus, people do complain that it's quite rough. And I agree, it's rough. To be fair, I have found a hack. I was told to sit forwards and I guess it helps a bit. Anyways, in terms of the ride layout, it features a vertical loop, 2 corkscrews, a cobra roll, and 5 heartline rolls or barrel rolls. So it is a pretty long layout and it's pretty action packed, which is what you like to have in a roller coaster. Now unfortunately for me, the only thing ruining this ride is the smoothness. Even though I will admit it's a pretty fun coaster to go on a bad day it can just be unbearable. So for that reason, I'm going to give ride experience a 6 out of 10. Now in terms of theming, I'm not really invested in the lore of this ride, similarly to Hyperia. But one thing I will say is that the gift shop and the station look really nice, as well as some of the tunnels you go through on the ride. The landscaping in the area as well has some nice greenery, and the queue line as well, you're introduced to all the scenery, so pretty good I guess. I'll give it 7. Giving Colossus the total of 13 out of 20, which is, it's not too bad, it's just above average. Now moving a 3-minute walk away from Colossus, you have Saw the Ride, which is the world's first horror themed roller coaster, and it's also known as one of the UK's most hated coasters. I stand by it guys, it's not that bad, the hate is forced. Now spoiler alert, Saw features an indoor drop, which catches you off guard, especially if you haven't been on it before. It also features a barrel roll or a heartline roll, a vertical lift hill, beyond vertical drop, and a bunch of other elements including an airtime hill and a dive loop. Now in terms of ride experience, I think this ride's quite fun. The layout's good, it's intense. The only thing that kind of does ruin it is the rattle on the beyond vertical drop, and on the dive loop you get your head smacked quite a bit. But apart from that, I think it's pretty fun. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for ride experience. Sorry to all of the Saw haters. Now in terms of theming, now it's not the best themed in the park, but I think it's just well themed, you know. Has some nice props. That indoor section has some cool effects, some swinging stuff, and in the queue line there's this one section that will jump scare the hell out of you. So yeah, I'll give theming a 7 out of 10 again, giving Saw the Ride a score of 14 out of 20, which it's not bad, that's pretty decent. Now moving to another coaster that is quite hated, and that's Nemesis Inferno. And many people know Nemesis Reborn at Alton Towers, which is Inferno's main rival, which is definitely one of the best inverted coasters in Europe. However, that doesn't mean Nemesis Inferno is bad. I get it's a bit of a step down, but I think Inferno is still a pretty intense coaster. Now this might be a hot take, but if Nemesis Inferno had the same level as theming as Nemesis Reborn, I honestly think they'll be much easier to compare. And they'll be a lot closer than you think. I might get cooked for that in the comments, I'm sorry. But yeah, Nemesis Inferno features an amazing pre-lift hill section where you go through the volcano with loads of mist, a vertical loop which is really intense, 0G roll, and 2 interlocking corkscrews which are unique. And also the coaster's pretty fun as well. It's fast, pacey, and yeah, it's pretty good. I love this ride. It's one of my favorites. I'm gonna give the ride experience an 8 out of 10. Now this is kind of where we drop off a little bit. Theming. Now this ride is more of those stylized coasters where there isn't really any theming. Nemesis Inferno is set in the jungle around the volcano, and it has some really nice landscaping and some really nice scenery, I guess, and I think it interacts really well with the volcano. I don't really know what else to say. For theming, I can't lie. Oh gosh, sorry Nemesis, you're getting a 4. Giving Nemesis Inferno a score of 12 out of 20. You're better than that, I know you will. Anyways, moving on to the park's signature roller coaster, which is Hyperia, which is known for being the tallest and the fastest roller coaster in the country, standing at 236 feet and a top speed of 81 miles per hour, beating Stealth by 1 miles per hour. Now this ride is just insane, and no glaze here, no glaze. This is the type of ride to leave you speechless when you come off it for the first time. And even nowadays when I come off this ride, I can't describe the feeling. It's just so magical. You don't get this feeling on your ordinary coaster. This coaster is, dare I say, it's world class, maybe. But yeah, this ride is nuts. Ride experience, I'm giving you a 10 out of 10. It's short, I know, but the elements just make it incredible. Now theming, once again, this is where we drop off a little bit. Now this ride is themed to a Greek goddess. There's not much theming around the area. There are a few props here and there, but it's not much. This is one of those coasters that are stylized, but it would just be nice to have some more theming. But yeah, for theming, I can't lie, I'm giving you a 5 out of 10. Sorry. Giving Hyperia a total of 15 out of 20, which is pretty good. I don't know why I'm saying pretty good. That's a great score. Moving on, we have Stealth at Amity Speedway, which is themed to a 1950s American speedway, I think. Yes, it's over pretty quickly, but there's just nothing like it in the UK. And don't you dare try to compare Rita to this ride, you bums. This ride is the fastest accelerating roller coaster in the world, and it accelerates from 0 to 1.8 miles per hour in, I messed that up, and accelerates from 0 to 80 miles per hour in 1.8 seconds. It stands at 205 feet and it's over within 15 seconds, but it's pretty fun. Now this coaster is an Intamin hydraulic launch coaster, which are dying breeds unfortunately, and as shown recently with the departure of King Dakar and the problems that Rita and Stealth have been having over the past year. Please don't nuke Stealth like you did to King Dakar, please. But yeah, ride experience is short, but it's crazy. I'm giving you a 9 out of 10. I don't care. People still class this ride as Thorpe Park's signature roller coaster, and I honestly don't blame them. Now in terms of theming, I think the queue line theming and the area theming looks pretty nice. Now it's nothing too crazy, but you do get a lot of theming linked to the 1950s American speedway, and I'm going to keep this short and just give it a 7 out of 10 for theming. Meaning Stealth is currently tied to Hyperia with a score of 15 out of 20. Can the next coaster beat that score? Next up we have the real hidden gem at Thorpe Park, which is Flying Fish. This ride is a mat powered coaster and it's a nice junior family coaster. It also has the same layout as Scorpion Express from Chessington, which might be the reason why I'm glazing this so much. I love that ride. RIP my goat. And overall this ride's a lot of fun. You can get a lot of laps on it too. It's a classic. I'm gonna give you just a 10 out of 10 just for that. I'm just joking, I'll give it a 6. Now as for theming, well, it has nice trains. Being a flying fish immediately gives you 5 points, so we're just gonna give theming a 5 out of 10 for that reason. That reason makes no sense whatsoever. Giving Flying Fish a total of 11 points. This ride really is the GOAT. Moving on, we have one of the UK's most beloved coasters, and that is the Swarm. The Swarm is a B&M wing coaster and it's one of 2 in the country, the other being Mandrill Mayhem at Chessington obviously. Now this coaster features a wing over drop, 0G roll, whatever that is, I think it's called an incline loop, corkscrew and a barrel roll, so it has quite a few inversions. Before all the foodies get onto me, I meant inline twist. Yeah, okay, that's it. Have a good day. Because this is a wing coaster, you sit beside the track and you get some really nice forces because of that. And it's a really nice feeling being on a coaster like that. So, yeah. The ride's smooth, intense, and it definitely packs a punch. It's a lot of fun. I'll give you an 8 out of 10. The only reason it's losing 2 points is because it's a bit short. Now, in terms of theming, this is probably my favourite themed area at Thorpe Park. Once again, I'm not invested in all the lore, but it's themed to an alien invasion. And it just looks really nice, especially the queue line and the station. It's just beautiful. I'll give it a 9 out of 10, giving Swarm a pretty close to perfect score of 17 out of 20. So according to this rating so far, the Swarm has beaten Hyperia and Stealth, making it the best coaster at Thorpe Park. Yeah, I'm not gonna act like I agree with this. And lastly, we have the Walking Dead the ride, themed to obviously The Walking Dead. Now this coaster is basically a family coaster indoors, themed really well, has some really nice elements in the ride. It's not crazy, but it's fun. A cool moment I like in this where you stop and reverse, and you stop and reverse repetitively before getting launched over. Well, you're not launched, that's a bit over exaggerated. Before you get sent into a small drop with a cool fire element. Now once again, this ride isn't crazy, but just because it's not a crazy ride doesn't mean it's not good. I think this is a really good ride, even though it comes across as a bit random to have right next to Storm Surge. I was pleasantly surprised when I first came off this ride. So I'm going to keep it short by saying the coaster, give it 6 out of 10. And in terms of theming, you get some really nice smells in there, nice theming, nice storyline. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. giving The Walking Dead a score of 13 out of 20, which is decent. So in first place we have Swarm with 17 points. Tied second place we have Stealth and Hyperia at 15 points. Then we have Saw at 14 points. Then Colossus at 13 points. And the last big coaster is Nemesis Inferno at 12 points. I don't agree with that. I don't know why I've done that, but okay. Flying Fish and Walking Dead follow at 11 and 13 points, which is... No way, Walking Dead's higher rated than Nemesis Inferno. What? Alright, so this video was a lot of fun. I love doing these rating videos, so if you have any ideas of what we're gonna rate, maybe some ride stations, I just gave myself an idea. We're gonna do that soon. Alright, so subscribe or I'll put you on High Striker for a whole day. Guys, I'd just like to say, if I've forgotten to put any credits down, comment down below and I'll add them to the description. Obviously, I'm gonna aim to put them in, but if I forget any, let me know. And make sure to subscribe, or I'll send you for 50 laps of Rattlesnake non-stop, or maybe 50 laps of Saw the Ride. What would you prefer? Okay, bye now.